Welcome to today's video tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at how to show identity, and what we've got on the screen is a completed identity portrait. So this is the end point and we're going to get started. Firstly, you can download the start image in the description box below. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all my layers so that my image looks exactly like your image. Now this is a great image and we're going to start by making a black background, a perfectly black background, which we're going to put everything on top of. So in order to do that, I click my adjustment layers down here, mine a little bit off screen. We're going to choose solid color and you're going to drag your slider down here to this bottom right left hand corner and you can hit OK. So now we have a black background layer which everything is going to be built on top of. Then I'm going to go down to the image of the girl. I'm going to click my background layer and I'm going to go Command and J to duplicate that, and then I'm simply going to move it so it's on top of my solid black layer. Now at this point I might want to Command and T, and I'm going to Command and minus, so I'm reducing the size of my image, and then I'm just going to hold down the Option and I'm going to make this image a little bit bigger in the scene like that, and then I'm going to move it all the way over to the side like this. When I'm happy with that, I go ahead and apply the transform by clicking tick. Right, once I've done that, I can go ahead and get started with duplicating the layers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to my top layer here and I'm going to go Command and J to duplicate it. Then what I'm going to do is I need to see through this layer, so I'm going to click that layer and I'm going to go to a lighten screen mode. And what this has meant is that I'm lightening this image here, this layer here. So then I go ahead and get my move tool and I just move my model over like that until I think it looks kind of cool. So I just want to make sure I can see the face on each one of these instances. I'm happy with that. I think what would be useful is to see a bit more of this face here. So in order to do that, I'm going to click in here. I'm going to create a layer mask and I'm going to click to make sure I'm in my layer mask. And then I'm going to hit B, shortcut for brush. Now my brush is very big, so if your brush isn't big, you can click it down here. Just make sure you've got a soft brush and you can reduce the size of the brush over here. Now that's looking a little bit small. I'll make it a little bit bigger and go about there. When I'm happy with that, I simply ensure that my foreground color is black, and then I just do a little bit of painting into the layer mask here. And as I paint into the layer mask, just change my opacity. As I paint into the layer mask, I can see more of the face below. So I'm really happy with that. So now I'm going to simply duplicate this again, Command and J, and then I move that layer over, and then we get to see the face again. And then simply Command and J again, V for move, Command and J, V for move, and that's looking fantastic. What I might do is put this face over here looking the other direction, and that's very simple. You just Command and J to duplicate the layer, and then we just need to go edit, and then we need to go transform, and then we need to flip horizontally like that, and then I just need to move that face all the way over here, and that is looking fantastic. So I hope you found that useful. Go ahead and create an image like that to try and show identity using Photoshop. Thanks for watching and see you next time.